Hello, my microphone was not working. Welcome, not an alien, to the broadcast. Which I hope is working correctly and it's not gonna lag. You never know. But hope you're doing well. I remember you asked me to stream on Twitch as well, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, why not, right? Sure, might as well do that. If I get such a personal request. But yeah, we're flying from Amsterdam to Nuremberg, and there's a real route that KLM flies at least like 6 times a day. So it's gonna be exciting. That is gonna be exciting. Leocino, how long have I not seen you, my friend? I'm very sorry for the Italian accent. I should not be doing that. But I hope you're well. I hope it's going well with you. We are not gonna be flying to Italy today, although I did consider it. Rome has a very nice airport, so maybe that's something for next time. That's at least what I think. Doing very fine. That is mighty fine to hear, my friend. Wow, my microphone mutes. I don't know how much of that you got. My microphone is a weird ass motherfucker. But I'm very glad that you're doing mighty fine. I almost went to fly to Italy today, but I decided against it. I was like, Nuremberg seems like a good choice. I could use a beer, you know? But I've been doing my streams on YouTube, and since Alien asked me so politely to also stream here on Twitch, I figured, why not, right? I feel like it is also nice to do that. I get to chat with people I have not seen in a long time, and I am very much looking forward to that. I have not seen you guys in a long time. Jesus Christ, how long has it been since I talked to you, Leocino, an alien? Long time, long time. Anyway, enough with the weird talking. This is like ultra parasocial at this point. We are going to do a flight from Nuremberg to... from Amsterdam to Nuremberg. We're gonna import our flight here. Hope it doesn't dox me. It does not dox me. Good. I'm very glad about that. So let's open the Amsterdam airport charts. The Nuremberg chart. I mean, Nuremberg is a relatively small airport, so it's not very that difficult to get going. And let's open the... It's not what I want. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Doesn't want to go down. Oh well, we didn't need this anyway. Fuck it. Let's just get the plane started. Actually, I think that might be a good thing.
Hello. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled into your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact. So I know it can be a bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You will do fine, so let's just focus on getting you...
Hello, Joe Biden. I have not heard you in so long. I wanted to record a message to you to get you up set on your first night. I actually worked at office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so it can be a bit overwhelming. Where did you get that from? That is definitely a shit post. Where did you get that from? Let me also get the temperature here in Amsterdam, and let's also start with the boarding. Deboarding, not the boarding. Okay, do I have everything that I need up? Okay, let's have our battery. These are the batteries on. Have our ground power available. Okay, this is fine. APU we're not gonna turn on yet. And in general, that all looks good.
Oh, let's see. First, there's an introductory greeting from the company that I'm supposed to read. Oh, it's kind of...
The fuck is Joe Biden
know.
yapping about this time? You should try Genoa Airport. Is interesting. Yes, Genoa. Hey, Hex. Is your Twitch the same? Yes. Maybe not, actually. Let me give it to you. I am a little bit stupid. Let me get that to you. Where the fuck do I find my own stream? YouTube has made it really hard to find your own streams. Like, or even other streams. Insanely hard. Let me link that to you. It's right there. There you go. Out of stock? What? I cannot do more than one thing at a time. Jesus Christ, I am terrible at this. Okay, here comes Joe Biden again.
Freddy Fazbear's
Joe Biden is losing it. All right. Okay, so let's start with the actual things that we need for the flight. How about that? So first officers, this person, you're Jane. Hello, Jane. Oh, very high sensitivity. That's good to know. Let's listen to the weather broadcast. Oh, hang on. My service is not doing good. Oh, I just turned off my... And my microphone is muted. My microphone is muted. I am actually going to go insane. Like, what the hell? Why is it muting every single time? And I closed my services, so I couldn't see what was said before. I don't know. It's all a mess. It's a mess, I tell you. Okay, let's go back to chill lo-fi beats to study to 2023 edition. Why not? Okay, so what I was doing here is preparing my plane, preparing my flight, and I'm gonna.
Beyond ATC connected.
Oh, and my microphone is muted again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm actually gonna yell. I am actually gonna yell. That is impressive. Very impressive. Okay, anyway, let's get started. How about that? Let's get started. Let me tune to the ATIS information. And it will tell me what the weather looks like. Nope.
Schiphol Airport Information Papa, 1208 Zulu, wind 250 at 16, visibility 10 miles or more, few clouds at 2500, temperature 09er, dew point 01, QNH 1027, landing runways 18 right 2227, departing runways 18 center 2224, transition level 030, numerous cranes in operation around Schiphol. Advise on initial contact, you have information Papa. Schiphol Airport Information Papa, 1208 Zulu, wind 250
Yes, it seems fine. Departing runway will probably be
few clouds at
22...
2500, temperature 09er, dew point 01, QNH
24 probably.
1027, landing runways 18 right 2227.
Okay, shut up. So runway is probably gonna be 22. Good to know, I guess.
Airways to Kennedy Airport.
So this is gonna be not a very interactive part of the stream where I just get shit set up. I'm sorry.
Valco 3 Sierra departure with the Idrid transition. Squawk for 264. KLM 641 Heavy.
KLM 641 Heavy. Read back correct. Contact ground 121.905 when ready for push or start.
Ground 121.905 when ready for pushback
on
or
someone
engine
told there.
start. KLM 641 Heavy. Have a good day.
KLM 271 requesting IFR clearance to Nuremberg Airport.
KLM 271, Schiphol delivery, expect runway 24, Rendy 2 Sierra departure, ADPO transition, initial climb to flight level 060, squawk 1000.
1000, that's an interesting squawk. KLM 271, expect runway 24, Rend 2 Sierra departure, EDUPO transition, initial climb to 060, and my squawk is 1000. Okay, so squawk is essentially a code that you just like identify yourself with. Just fly, shaking my head.
Read back correct. Contact ground 121.905
like,
when ready for pushback or engine start.
Contact ground at 121.905 when ready for pushback or start. KLM 271. Thank you. Good day. So it's essentially like every plane has their own squawk, and that's how they identify each other on the air. So I'm not very accustomed with the Embraer. It's not a very much a plane that I like to fly in the simulator, but oh, that's the Essentially, if I put it here, then ATC can see this is my code, right? Is this, are these real people? No, these are not real people. There is places with real people, but I'm too scared to fly there. So I'm kind of a pussy, you could say. All right, so 24 is the runway that was assigned to us. Although 24, yeah, 24 is good. And the condition is obviously dry. So we're gonna have our like performance calculations going on here. So this is where I look at like, okay, this is how much, oh, actually I probably need to redo this. Let's just instantly load up. And then I should have, how much fuel are we expecting? So this says 7,870. If I go to sim brief, and it's kind of annoying because I can't really show it to you guys what I'm doing. But if I go there, I should see then that my fuel should be at 7,000 something. 7,800. Okay, that's too much. Am I even looking at the right thing? I am. I'm supposed to only have 3,600 kilograms of fuel, and it's not doing its thing. Okay, so this is broken. That's fantastic. So let's do the real-time stuff. I mean, I need time to do everything right anyway. So set up the aircraft to be able to fly. I don't need the electro pump for now, but I do need the emergency lights. So legally a plane is not allowed to board unless the emergency lights are armed. Something to keep in mind, I guess. Oh, you cannot move the lights. I'm a little bit autistic, holy shit. So we have the GPU, so this is the essentially ground power. If an aircraft needs power to work, right? An aircraft needs electricity, and an aircraft can work through, you know, batteries. It can work through the GPU, and it has its own power unit, so it's called an auxiliary power unit right here. And usually that's the thing that you hear spinning when you go to an aircraft and you know, you board and you go like, wow, this sounds like an engine, but there is no real engine going on. Like, this looks weird as shit. It's usually because the APU is on. This is the thing here at the back of the aircraft. This giant hole here. The aircraft's, you know, hole. It's usually where the exhaust for the auxiliary power unit goes through. I love nerding, even though I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. It's the best thing ever. Okay, so this looks all... Oh, wait. Well, of course I need to redo the calculation once the fuel is accurate. Yeah, I need to wait a little bit, I guess. Okay, so... That's 2,800 fuel. Oh, wait, of course. This is probably, yes, this is, I'm thinking about kilograms. I am stupid. Instant. If I were to translate 7,800 pounds of fuel to kilograms. Hello, Hexen. You have acquired tiramisu. That is awesome. I love tiramisu. You know, I always thought tiramisu was from Asia for whatever reason. Like Japanese or something, but I'm just genuinely stupid. Yeah, that's not my brightest moment, I guess. Okay, anyway, it's all good now, so I could probably just do the calculations here, and should do its thing. So to MCDU, so usually we would let know that the APU is starting to the ground. Fishy says, holy shit, I just came back from marksmanship. I hope you hit your targets. Otherwise, I'm going to be very disappointed. Also, my plane does not have any sound. Why? I want the plane to sound very nice and loud. There we are. Oh, this is going to be very loud. Hang on. Let me reduce the volume. Okay, there we go. But you can hear, like, you can see the exhaust This is like where all the exhaust from the auxiliary power unit comes out of, and this is what you hear when you're like boarding a plane, but the engines are not really going. Although you might see the engine spinning a little bit, and this is just to, you know, they're idling essentially. The name sounds Japanese, it does, but I fucking love tiramisu. Ay, ay, ay. Mika, Mika, Mika. Very lucky you are. Okay, flight plan. So we are going to Nuremberg. So EDDN is correct from Eham. So I think the easiest way to explain this is that airports have their own codes. And, you know, depending on where you are in the world, you know, you're gonna have a different code. So, for example, the United States and North America has a K. The Netherlands has a has an E, and then each country gets assigned an extra, you know, letter. So this would be then, I think, Western Europe or something, or at least the part the Netherlands is in. H is Holland, which is, I guess, Netherlands in this sense, and then Amsterdam. And then if you go to Germany, it is ED, and then in this case, Nuremberg is just DN. But if you were to look at Frankfurt, I think it's EDDF. Munich is EDDM, and so on. But usually only the first two letters, from my understanding at least, are assigned to, you know, the airport itself. Okay, what is my plane bitching about this time? DC bus off. Huh. The APU is on? Okay, I'm not an electrical engineer. I do not know what the fuck is going on. Not even gonna pretend. I'm just gonna turn on the APU again. Turn it off and on. Usually works. You didn't even need to lift a finger for it. I am jealous. Although I did get made breakfast for me today, so I'm very happy about that. Ah, Fishy, you didn't get... You were a single point away from getting the Silver Series. I'm very, very, very sad. I would have... You know, if you sent me an image of it, I would have, like, printed it on my wall, put it there. Very disappointing. Nah, I'm joking. It's fine. You'll get there. Okay, what do I do here? My APU just refuses to work right. Ah. Oh, I'm stupid. I pressed it in, so of course the bus would then be deactivated to it. I don't know what I'm doing. Please don't even start me on this. I am very stupid. Very dumb. Dumb. Okay, so Amsterdam to Nuremberg. That seems fine. Runway 24, and we had a... Oh, actually got the wrong transition. Someone followed me or subscribed. I don't know why you would subscribe, but if you did, thank you. Let me check that in a second. Oh, no, 2CR is actually right. So, that seems good. Look at the flight plan. Runway 24, AM05, AM08, AM026. Next one should be iFloot. There's two iFloots here. Let me rectify that. Can I not do that? Hang on. Okay, let me check here. Hexen followed. Thank you very much for the follow, Hexen. I appreciate that. You have listened to the sound of my Garand. Can you shut the fuck up? Oh my god, this is overstimulating me. I am insanely overstimulated here. This is seeing an insane person doing its thing. Okay. More people here? Yeah, people are on Twitch apparently. That's where all the fish is at. Okay. I am just gonna assume that everything is fine. That is my assumption. I'm gonna turn off the APU. And I'm just gonna assume that everything is fine. And that's what I'm gonna go with. Oh, this turned off now. Huh. Oh, welcome back. I don't know how embraers work. I am so fucking lost. Okay, so for context, right? I'm trying to start up its own, the plane's own power supply. Because otherwise I'm gonna have to start the engines from the stand, and that's not a good thing. But I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to do this. Right? I'm connected to the ground power right now, and this is what's fueling everything up. But once I connected to the ground power, you could see like these windows here went blank, which means that they're obviously not getting power. And I keep getting a notification that the bus is off. And I don't know what that means. Let me try one last time. Just like, why not, right? My favorite part of the F-16 and DCS is that you can literally turn off the radar warning something and countermeasures dispensers. I mean, if you don't need it, you know, why would you? Oh my god, I am. How do I do this? Can I just delete them instead? I can. Okay, so what comes after iFlood actually? Linux, Randy, Idopo, and then supposed to be Napro. So let's have not Randy again. Napro. Now we have Napro. Okay, and then we have D-pad. Okay, good. This is good so far. Yeah, but I get this notification. Why? Why did I get this notification? What am I doing wrong? Surely I'm doing something. Oh. I think I found my mistake. I think I didn't have the electrical pump on. Let's hope that's it. Let's just hope I'm stupid. Nope, that was not it. Okay. You know what? Let's the aircraft just does not feel safe. That's true. Let's get a different aircraft. New phone, who this? Hello. Stalin Stepsis, I think. Why? Oh, okay, you're not subscribed, you're a moderator. I forgot how the icons work. I have not seen you in so long. You have changed your name. Welcome. I literal mental flashbang. It keeps beeping, yeah, it keeps alerting. It's like, there's a creep touching me. There's a creep touching me. Don't let the creep touch me. Ay, ay, ay. So many people I have not seen in such a long time. Holy shit. I swear to God, I have been so focused at university. It's insane. Maybe I shouldn't, you know? Oh, my microphone muted. I hope it wasn't for long. But I get it. Like, I get it.
I was the plain yelling. I don't like screaming. When I was young, we would reap out the noisy bits and sell them for ice cream.
Oh, my game crashed. They don't want me to fly this today. My microphone keeps muting. My plane crashed. I promise you, I will take off at some point. Why was the plane yelling? The electricity stuff was just not working correctly, and I was very annoyed about that. That's why. Reap out the noisy bits and sell them for ice cream. Oh yeah, Mr. President. Back in my day, we used... And then it mutes me. It knows that the bit is just not funny. Like, I am actually... I'm going insane. I'm overstimulated to shit here. Squawks. Yes. The plane just does that. I like how the microphone just muted me while I was doing my Trump bit. Because it just knew. It just knew it was not going to be funny. Squawk 7500 is the international code if an airliner is getting, or any plane actually, is getting used for bad purposes, such as hijackings. Pilots don't like when you say that. I have found. No, but I get why the name might give you some uncomfy vibes. Uncomfortable vibes. You know something I realized? Americans have so many words for completely like different direction I'm going here, but I noticed that Americans in general have such a weird way to describe food a lot of the times. Like, I have never eaten something and thought, yeah, this is fresh. Like, it has never occurred to me. And I don't know if it's just because in America everything tends to be frozen. So when you actually go out to a restaurant and it's fresh, it's like, ooh, nice. Or if there's just something that Americans generally can taste. Like, I never had that. I just got a really good idea for an Onion article. Send them. Send it to them. I don't know if they accept. My microphone did the muting again. US food tastes like plastic. Okay, when I went there, the McDonald's tasted absolutely terrible.
My dog, my hot dog.
My dog. The food just tasted absolutely terrible in America. Not the food in general. Like, there's some good stuff. Like, I really enjoyed the Philly cheesesteak they had there. And oh my god, Shake Shack. When I went to Mexico last year, the Shake Shack that they had, like in America and in Mexico, best thing ever. If there was a Shake Shack in Europe, I would literally get a job just to be able to afford to eat on at Shake Shack and get a heart attack really early on in life, but just be able to do that. It is so fucking good. It is unbelievably good, but it's expensive. It's like something you should only do like when you go on vacation. You go like, I want to experience something new. And obviously when you go to Mexico, you eat the American food. Who doesn't know that? No, but it's really good. But I did not like the McDonald's. Like, seriously, I ordered a McChicken and I was not sure if I got a McFish instead. And I was very concerned about that. Man squawks 7500 himself so he can watch the Interceptors. That's really funny. Fresh is something I would associate with toothpaste, not food. Yeah, exactly. Like, but it's not the type of fresh they talk about, right? They talk about like a you know, not frozen type of fresh, if that makes sense. I'm also streaming on 2 platforms, which is terrible because, like, if you're watching this on YouTube, and I don't know if anyone is, you just hear the machinations of an insane person talking. Like, You're just wondering if I maybe don't have like a Discord chat open or something and you just cannot hear it. And it's like, no, that's not the case. I can promise you that's not the case. I'm also live on Twitch. And so people are talking to me on Twitch. If you're watching this on YouTube, I promise you I'm not insane. At least not because of this. Anyone says my food tastes fresh, I'm throwing them out of the nearest window. Oh my god. On god. I always suck with food descriptors, but that more so has to do with taking things too literally. Maybe Americans are just very nice, right? I'm not American, right? I'm European, and you know, a big beautiful continent of Europe, one country, president of Albania and Armenia. Negotiated a peace deal. But like, you know, I'm at least when I noticed when I talk to Americans, they're a lot more friendly, right? They're like, oh, yeah, good day, let's talk about the weather, and like they tend to add things to things, and I'm just like, why are you putting so many adjectives on things? So maybe that's why, because people feel like they have to.
Hello, fellow Albanians.
Hello, fellow Albanians. Albania is almost America, on God. Bill Clinton is a hero there.
Beyond ATC connected.
Oh my god, I am gonna scream. I am going to scream.
Cannot
How
hear a
long have I
word
been
you
muted?
say.
I like that I have TTS now at least, so people can let me know. Thank you very much. Did they murder the H-bot in Philadelphia? That's what I read. At least 1 minute. Oh my god. I am actually so mad at this microphone. Like, why is it? Don't mute. Like, just do not mute. It's as simple as that. But I was saying, a lot of the times I feel like people in America assume someone's being rude when they're just being like, you know, direct and normal as you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to say people are normal, but you know, just not being overly friendly with them, and then they get upset that they don't get a handy in the bathroom stall because, like, you know, they said hello to you, and they're like, I said hello to you. Why did I not get my handy? And also, like, if I ever go to a restaurant in America, and or any restaurant anywhere, and the server is chatting to me, I would pay people to go fuck off. Like, don't talk to me while I'm eating. Like, please. And I get it, right? Because in America, you need to do that. If you're a server, you need to talk to people. Because you need to be like friendly and chatty and say like, oh, okay, how you doing? To get a tip. But it is such a foreign concept for me as someone that does not come from America, that the server is talking to me. Like, if anything, I want the server to have as little as possible to do with the experience. And the less the server like inconveniences me or talks to me, the better everything is. Like, I will literally I do tip people. Like, I actually do tip people, and I think I'm bad for doing that. But I mean, I don't live in America. Obviously, in America you have to tip, but I think I'm kind of bad for that because I just propagate the tipping culture. But obviously, it's very normal for you to round up whole numbers. But I do like tipping people, and I don't know. I'm happier to do it when people don't talk to me while I'm eating. Like, you know, you're mouth deep into a burger, and then someone just walks up to you and goes like, "How is it?" And you just look at them with like a face of resignation and despair, try to swallow that thing because like, this is the burger I paid for. Now I have to answer to you, and my mouth is full already. Like, come on. Okay, let me get to the clearance frequency here. KLM 271 requesting IFR clearance to Nuremberg Airport with information uniform and on board. I think that's how you're supposed to say that. I don't know myself.
KLM 271, Schiphol delivery. Information uniform correct. Expect runway 24, Rendy 2 Sierra departure with the Edupo transition. Initial climb to flight level 060. Squawk 1000.
It's the same squawk as before. 060. Expect runway 24 for departure. Departure Rendy 2 Sierra with Edupo transition. Initial climb to 060 and squawk is 100 KLM 271. America, they would talk to you even without the tip.
Negative.
That's
Squawk
terrifying.
1000.
Squawk 1000 KLM 271. That's a terrifying prospect for me.
KLM 271, read back correct. Contact ground 121.905 when ready for push or start.
129er. Whoa. Contact ground at 121.905 when ready for pushback or start. KLM 271. Okay, so this aircraft I'm a lot more, you know, familiar with. So first the power, emergency battery, then request a flight plan, boop, and get the ground power going. And then once the ground power is on, you'll see the blue light here. And then once you have the blue light, you turn it on. And you have everything going here. Oh, I didn't want to do that yet. Then you need to align. This is essentially the GPS for your plane. And it will find you in quotation marks. Like, it will triangulate your position, and yeah, you'll be able to see that where you are. This is the service interphone. This thingy here, where is it? Should be here. Am I stupid? Oh, I'm thinking about the 777, aren't I? Oh, anyway, there's supposed to be an interphone here. There isn't. So you can talk to the people at the back. At least as far as I understand it. Obviously, I am a stupid cunt, so I might be wrong. Okay, I already requested everything I needed to, so we can request boarding.
Boarding requested.
Let's do that really fast. How about that? And then we go to initialize the position. Get this, good. Press the flight plan, the payload. Got a carpool to catch? Have a good afternoon. Hey, well, good luck with whatever you have to do now. I hope it is a safe drive. Thank you very much for checking by. Okay, let's load this up. Right. Runway was 24. Then climb to 060. Almost an hour in and still on the ground. That is true. I am pitifully bad at this. Like, actually terrible. Are we boarding it? Yeah, we are boarding. So, this airport has a very cool area. And the thumbnail on my YouTube video, or my YouTube live stream, actually has this exact place. Right here. And it's a picture that I took. Woo. It's actually really cool. You can go in here for free. You don't have to actually be taking a plane. Like, I take a 20-minute train to this area here and I can spot planes like every single day. I don't do it every single day, but I do it when I have some, you know, time after university or something, and I just want to see planes take off. It's really cool to see like A380s and stuff take off. You can see quite a bit from here. This area right here, very disappointed. It's actually closed. Like, you cannot come here to plane spot anymore. And otherwise you would be able to see some really cool planes on that side, but you still get to see... This area is also covered now, for whatever fucking reason. But you now get to see this area here. And it's really nice. Like, I do enjoy it quite a bit. And you can also get into the plane. Why did they close it? I'm not really sure. Like, I'm actually not really sure. There's nothing inside here, but... You can actually go inside this plane and it's like a mini museum. You can sit inside the old chairs, see the old cockpit. Like, it's kind of a nice area. This store right here has like miniatures. I have never seen it open. Yeah, you can enter it for free. It's a free area. And then there's a coffee shop inside. Like, not the type of coffee shops that people associate with the Netherlands, but there's a place to buy coffee inside. It's kind of neat. I like it here. Like, I came here when I had the Model UN, and we had to organize a little bit of strategy, and I was looking for an excuse to just go to the airport and have fun. So, I don't know, I like the airport. It's also this huge sign that a bunch of tourists like to take a picture with. And a lot of scam taxis. Like, these are the... If you ever come to Amsterdam, just follow the actual indicated taxi areas. Like, don't go anywhere else, otherwise you get charged like 300 bucks for a fake taxi. Not a good experience. And also never take the buses unless you actually have to. You just take the train. You also don't have to pay, like, buy train tickets in the Netherlands. Fun fact. Like, you don't have to. Let's go. So, like, not because trains are free or anything like that, but because you can check in with your card. Like, you scan an area, your card on a pole, and then when you get out of the station, wherever you are at the end of your journey, you check out again. Like, you don't have to buy train tickets. Just use your card. Credit card, anything like that works. It's my recommendation, at least if you ever come to the Netherlands. And if you do come to the Netherlands, I mean, ask me questions, please. I'm almost a tour guide at this point. Okay, so we're gonna start the auxiliary power unit, and this is a lot easier. So you turn on the APU bleed, and you turn off your PEX, which is the pressure on your aircraft, the air pressure, as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna give very bad explanations on how all of this works because I don't know it myself. But yeah, and then you can see here the APU starting up. Does the Netherlands have a cool military museum? Yes. In fact, it does. Let me show this to you while we're boarding. There's nothing interesting to see during boarding anyway. Right here. Let's go here. Maps. Oop. I don't actually live here. Why did I zoom in here? Dordrecht is a very nice place. Huh, interesting. Anyway, there is one in Soest. Where is it? Here. It's a old, like, military base. And it has these, like, planes and stuff. And it has an inside area as well. It's actually very neat. Like, you can see some very nice stuff. Also the SC-21. Like anything from old to new. Very nice museum. I do recommend it if you come here. And then you have one in, if you very much like paratroopers, in Arnhem. There is one in Oosterbeek. The Airborne Museum. I also went here once. I thought it was very neat. Right here. Has a Sherman outside and all. This is more about the history of the place and all of that. Like Canadian and British paratroopers. I think American paratroopers as well. They do a marathon that goes through here whenever like there's commemoration of Market Garden. Also a very nice place. But it's a lot more smaller scale. You should come here for the history. Not because of the artifacts. Wait, what? Supper? Oop, this is the wrong one. MiG. I mistook a MiG for a Sukhoi. Oh, no. Oh, and of course, how could I forget? Sorry. Let me go back to one more, and then we go back to our plane. Overloon. Where the fuck is Overloon again? Overloon. Yeah, it was actually where I was expecting it to be. I almost forgot this. This is actually the bigger museum here. Like, it is actually a huge museum full of stuff. Just literal tons, metric tons of stuff. Doesn't really show here. But like, it's just rows and rows and rows and rows of equipment. It's really, really cool. And then sometimes they also have live stuff, but I've never been. Because I live kind of far away from Limburg. But yeah. Like, it's actually really cool. There's so many things here. Overloon. At least I think it's in Limburg. Is it in Limburg? Nah, it's not. Brabant. Oh well. Whatever. Oh. Let me go back to the game capture screen. Have you ever played Call of Arms Gate to Hell? Yes, I have. I have in fact played that before. Okay, let's activate or use the power from the APU. Have the seatbelts on because we already are fueled up. Load the profile, execute, clear. Do some calculations here, performance calculations. We're taking off runway 24. So let's have that accordingly. Cannot be calculated. This configuration. Oh, I guess I didn't import this correctly. There we are. Okay, 52 is the selected temperature. So you can kind of trick your aircraft, right? Because an aircraft produces a lot of power when it takes off. There's a lot of engines, and sometimes it doesn't need to use all that power. So at warmer temperatures, the engine does not need to be spooled up as much to produce thrust. And, ultimately, like, you use less thrust. At least that's my understanding of it, because the air is thinner. I might be completely wrong in this. I don't care. But you can tell your aircraft, actually, outside it's way warmer than it is. So that, because you don't need to use as much thrust to take off, you can save, like, on fuel on the long run. So it's essentially, it slows down, it throttles down the maximum amount of thrust the aircraft will produce. That's a very long, weird way to say that, but that's it. Yaw damper. Everything is aligned. Have the fuel pumps on, and then we can disconnect the ground power. Air conditioning unit can also go. Everything is good. So let's disconnect the jetway. Say goodbye to the Fokker 100 there in the background. We were cleared to 060, that's fine. Let's align this with the runway, please, roughly. Our speed is 158. 158. Turn on the flight directors, which are gonna indicate us where we have to fly. Deactivate this. Everything else seems good. I'm happy with what I have. Quick scan. Welcome back, Leochino. Oh, I have the DLC actually. I have the British DLC. Okay, your is set, and I did not do the departure. Oops. So here I essentially tell the plane how I want to fly out and into the aircraft, into the airport, and there's a lot of different, you know, pre-established routes to get to an airport. It's like a highway you just follow essentially. And we already know that we're going to be landing ILS 28. ILS is essentially a kind of the way you do an autoland, right? So you have different categories of ILS. You have Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. And they vary in how, you know, good the autoland is. I think is the simplest way to say that, but I could be completely wrong. And again, I don't really care. Performance, we did say that it's going to be 52 degrees outside because we are in the Sahara Desert. And we're going to have these V speeds back. Okay, and then the trim, and then we're good to go. This is the back part of the aircraft. So this surface right... Oh, I don't know actually if you can see that. This surface right here. You can trim it up and down. Because sometimes, you know, you want your aircraft to not point up or down as much. So you can adjust the trim in flight. Very poor explanation for that, but that's essentially what I have to offer you.
Captain, while Karen won a front seat in the plane one, we should do.
Kick her out. Hang on, let me open the door again. It's already open. There you go. Pew. Okay. All right, let's have the red, the anti-collision light on to indicate that we're good to go. Okay, then prepare for pushback and departure. Oh, right, we need to ask for clearance, of course, otherwise the computer gets mad. KLM 271 requesting push and start from gate C11. At least I hope that was C11. Could be C11. They're very quiet. Face southeast, KLM 271.
Negative, face southeast.
Face southeast, KLM 271. Sometimes you need to be very precise with this dumb fucking AI. Would be fun if I crashed the plane, it would be. It would be hilarious even. Okay, my squawk was actually 100, so let me do that. Yo up, fly.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, good that you're ready for pushback. Okay. Guess seems good.
TCAS test pass.
Okay, TCAS passed. TCAS is
Bypass pin inserted.
essentially a warning mechanism or a warning system, right? If you fly too close to another plane and the other plane also has TCAS, which is the case with most aircraft nowadays, then the TCAS will kick in and it will tell one aircraft to either continue climbing, descend, or maintain the altitude, and the other aircraft will do exactly the opposite. So, you know, that's one anti-collision mechanism built into aircrafts, and you should have TCAS on when flying, and I'm pretty sure most airliners are required to have TCAS. Like, especially if you have more than like 50 seats or something, then you're definitely gonna need TCAS if you fly in the United States. I would imagine it's very similar in Europe. I see no reason why it would be less strict in Europe, actually. But maybe. Thank you. So we're instructed to face southeast. The only option is south, so we're gonna do that. Fuck it. Okay, and then we remove the parking brake, which is... Oh, actually we didn't even have the parking brakes on to begin with. So let's just remove the chocks.
Commencing parking brakes. Please, all engines clear. Start at will.
Okay. Not quite a nice day, but it's also not a bad day. A little bit choppy as well. That's okay. Okay, we can start our engine. So, how does the engine start work? From my understanding, most of the time you want to start your second engine first. So, what you will do is you'll get here to the engine start, like the ignition switch, and then you'll turn it to ground. And then you'll see right here, there's going to be pressure that builds up. You have oil pressure, and then you see the N2 spooling up. So an engine on an aircraft, from my understanding again, has essentially two components. You have a fan inside and a fan outside. The fan inside is then the N2 fan, which spools up first. So if I look to engine 2 now, you would not really see it spinning. Like, you'll see it idling a little bit, but you wouldn't really see it spinning too much. So right now N2 is nice and stable. There's a nice amount of oil pressure, which means that I can introduce fuel to this whole thing. So this is the fuel cutoff switch. By the way, in the Air India flight, the 787 that crashed, both of these were turned off for whatever reason. Like, we don't really know why, but it essentially stopped the introduction of fuel into the engines, which caused it to not have as much thrust. At least that's the initial, like, you know, idea behind it, or at least that's the initial suspicion that people have. We don't know that, but at least I don't know that. Okay, and then you see that the N2 is starting at the N1 is also starting to spool up. So now you should be able to see the engine going nice and fast here. And that's it.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brakes on.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
And then the same thing happens for the second engine, or the first engine, I guess.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
How high do we climb again? $3,007. Oh, okay. 370. That's a high altitude for such a short flight, but I guess. And this is the pressure panel. So an aircraft is obviously pressurized, and then you can like set it to whatever pressure you want it to be. And then the packs have to be on because they provide the pressure, at least from my understanding on how that works. Okay, so N2 is stable. Start engine 1.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Yeah, that's essentially all I actually had to say for that.
United 969 Heavy. Runway 24 taxi via Alpha 19er Charlie. Alpha 19er Alpha Sierra 7.
Usually you have the APU off, but I remember there's birds around, so I'll have to keep the APU on. Reason why, actually very interesting. I don't know if you guys remember the Miracle on the Hudson, where the guy landed in the Hudson River. He lost both engines at the start, right, on climb, because of birds. And so something that he did really quickly, which was very smart, is turn on the auxiliary power unit, so the power unit that the plane produces itself. Because usually when the engine is running, it produces electricity, like, right? It also has some, like, remaining air that goes into the cabin and all that, but, like, it gets, like, the electricity going. That's usually how you get electricity during the flight. You don't have your power unit on for a long time. But if you lose both your engines, obviously your source of electricity is gone. And so you need to turn on your APU again. During the flight, during the flight of the Miracle of the Hudson, the pilot was very smart because he turned on the APU really fast to be able to maneuver the plane. Because most planes nowadays are, or at least the big ones, are fly-by-wire. And so, especially Airbus ones are fly-by-wire. Is it? I don't know, whatever. But it's essentially like electronic input, like inputs on the joystick get converted into electronic signals that then tell the pilot, the plane what to do. So when I do this gets converted into a electronic signal that tells the aircraft to move the plane to this direction. And then you can see this going up and down, right? But when you don't have electricity in your plane, that does not really get converted. And so you need to have the APU on, or some other source of electricity, like a rad, for example. It's a little, like, thingy that goes down at the bottom of the aircraft that produces electricity. Are APUs usually batteries or generators? Good question. I don't know. From my understanding, they're generators. Usually not batteries, but I could be wrong. I'm sure, like, there's some special cases where they are one or the other. I'm not really sure. Okay. KLM 271 requesting taxi to the active runway. Hope I said it right.
KLM 271, runway 24 taxi via Alpha 5, Bravo, Sierra 7.
Taxi to runway 24 via Alpha 5, Bravo, Sierra 7, KLM 271. So it's a very short taxi, actually. We're just going this way.
Alpha 5, Bravo, Sierra 7.
Alpha 5, Bravo, Sierra 7, taxi through that. KLM 271 to runway 24. Very convoluted way to say that, but whatever. I'm happy to just get it out of the way.
KLM 91 Alpha. Contact Schiphol Tower 135.
Okay, parking brakes off. We're gonna set our flaps real quick. And we're gonna have our auto brake to reject takeoff so that it goes nice and fast, like it brakes really nicely in case we have to reject our takeoff. And let's have the taxi light on as well. Okay, other than that, I think we're really well set to just fly the fucking plane for once. We have the weather radar on as well. Terrain does not tend to be an issue in the Netherlands. Most of the time, at least. And let's get ourselves into the runway. So Sierra 7 is where we have to enter, so that's right at the back. Oh, here's the taxiway. Oops. That's a nice big United plane. I don't really quite like the United livery. I like the American Airways or American Airlines livery. Contact Schiphol Tower at 135.11. KLM 271, goodbye. Let's get a red behind them. KLM 271 holding short runway 24 at Sierra 7 requesting departure clearance.
KLM 271, number 1 for departure. Hold short of 24.
Hold position for traffic at 24 KLM 271. Okay, and then once we're given clearance for takeoff, we can turn on our landing lights. But we have to wait for the airplane in front. Especially because it's a big airplane, it's gonna have a lot of wake turbulence. Essentially, when it takes off, it leaves a lot of turbulence behind it. And that is not very good. Tends to not be ideal. Line up and wait at runway 24 KLM 271. Okay, we are given permission to enter the runway, so strobes go on. Incredibly delayed way to enter the runway. That also gives a little bit of time to avoid the wake turbulence from that airplane, at least in my mind. Like, especially if you have a very small aircraft like a little Cessna flying behind a bigger aircraft, that is really difficult for the plane, for the Cessna to, you know, keep pace or keep steady, because it's a lot of wake turbulence. Okay. Right. And I'm happy with everything else. The packs are good. Cleared for takeoff, runway 24, KLM 271. Okay, let's go. Okay, 100 knots, or 80 knots, I guess. Getting very wobbly here on the runway. We're gonna reach V1. And rotate. This is where the plane goes up. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Good. Can turn off the auto brake. And let's get going. And this is the flight director that I was talking about earlier. Sorry that I'm not looking at chat, but demands a little bit of my attention here, because I'm not very good at this. Okay. Contact Schiphol departure at 121.205 KLM 271. Have a good day. KLM 271 at flight level 020, climbing to 060.
KLM 271, Schiphol departure identified, climb to flight level 170.
Climb 170, KLM 271. Oh, that's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too little. Adjusting the altitude here. There we are. Okay, seems like we're going well here. Gears up. Recently I heard that, oh, whoa, I forgot to turn on VNAV. That's why I'm going straight. I'm supposed to be turning here. Recently I heard that NASA was working on the wing shapes that reduce turbulence. I could believe that. I could definitely believe that. NASA does a bunch of cool shit. I really like the view here. Like, okay, a lot of people say like, oh, I hate, you know, the nature in the Netherlands and all that. And I mean, granted, it is bland, right? It is the same thing over and over again. But I admire man's work more than I admire Mother Nature, if that makes sense. Like, I genuinely think this is really cool to look at, because this is like hundreds of years ago, people toiled in these fields and created like these very nice floodplains, and I just go like, I like that. I very much like that. I like to look at it. I like to look what the indomitable human spirit has created for us. If that makes sense. I gotta look at this. It's very nice. I don't know. I like it. I think we're gonna be flying over Utrecht as well. So, very much like Utrecht. Where are we flying over right now? It's not Outhorn, right? Not sure. Whether or not can put the flaps up. Nice little thingies that help us climb. The weather radar was not on. Problematic. Look at how beautiful this is. I don't know, it always gets me. We're gonna be flying over Utrecht. I'm gonna activate the autopilot because I wanted to take a look at the... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Because I want to take a look at the... outside a little bit. So we are flying over. If I'm right, this should be Woerden, maybe Breukelen. No, it's definitely not Woerden. But this is the place that gave the name to the district of Brooklyn in New York City. So, the namesake, I suppose. Breukelen. And right, let me find myself. Right there is the Belmer. This is where a 747, an Israeli 747 crashed a long time ago, and it crashed into like a neighborhood that is very much like, a lot of Surinamese people live there and all of that. It was a very sad accident. Very, very sad. It was also a very poor area. Not ideal. Not very good. Very dense. That's kind of what I'm getting at here. Right there is Naarden. It's an old fort. It's kind of cool to look at, right? You can see the fortification areas right here.
KLM 271, contact Amsterdam radar 119.175.
Contact Amsterdam radar at 119.175. KLM 271, goodbye. Here's Almere, which is like a very new city, right? By the standards of European cities. This is all Flevoland. I just need to announce myself here on the frequency.
Air France 86, Romeo Kilo, descent to flight level 260.
Descend to flight level 260, Air France 86 Romeo Kilo.
KLM 271 at flight level 160, climbing to 170.
KLM 271, Amsterdam radar identified. Climb to flight level 350.
Climb 350 per KLM 271. Let me just put the plane to climb correctly. And where 350, you can see right here. But that is Flevoland. Flevoland did not exist. Like 200 years ago, 100 years ago even, did not exist. Just this was all water. And it was all put up, all brought up. Not brought up, really. The water was pumped out. There was no, like, they didn't put soil in here and raise the sea level or the height of the terrain. They just pumped out all the water and put a couple of like dikes here. Very nice, Almere. I think it's the youngest city with over 50,000 inhabitants or something, or 100,000 in all of Europe, which is very neat. Like kind of a cool little trivia that you can have, right? I think if we look right here, can't really see it. We should be able to see Nijkerk somewhere. I don't think that is it. That's very nice. What else should we be able to see from here? Isn't there somewhere?
Your week, as you already known from City Stream.
Yes, I did talk about it in the City Skyline stream. That is very true. That is very true. But just look how beautiful this is. I don't know. It has a special place in my heart. Sounds kind of silly, but every time I have to fly away, I get very sad. I get very, very sad.
Expect 969 at Juliet, runway 27 right, Nordic 1486.
Yeah, let's go back to the captain's seat where I rightfully belong after I have done nothing to deserve it. And we're getting to a nice little altitude. So I feel happy in taking off the seat belts. Don't really need the anti-ice, to be honest. I'll just keep this off for now. We get to enjoy the flight a little bit. So we are a little bit away, ways away from the airport. Should be a 1 hour flight roughly. We're passing over Arnhem right now. Arnhem, also a very beautiful city. Can't really see much of it, but it is a nice city. I like it. Also Nijmegen somewhere. So, fun fact. Why not? Let's have some fun facts. Oh, I turned on my speed by accident. So there's this huge dispute in the Netherlands between people that are from Nijmegen and people that are from Maastricht. And essentially it's a dispute of who had the first Dutch city. Who had the, like, what was the first Dutch city? And Nijmegen, historically, got the rights, the city rights, earlier than Maastricht. I always say that wrong. But it got, like, non-inhabited. It was abandoned for a while. And so the people from Maastricht say that, okay, we actually are the oldest city, continuously inhabited city, because Nijmegen was uninhabited for a long time. And that's a big debate. It's not very serious debate, but it's a big debate. It's like, who was the who had the first Dutch city? I don't know where I was going with that. I love ice cream. Kleve. It's actually very interesting to think about how much of this area here was Low Franconian. So, I guess history, why not? Time. And very amateurish history. I'm a political scientist, I am not a historian. Like, historians get very mad when political scientists try to step on their terrain. And I'm just saying this as someone that has no fucking idea what's going on. But a lot of this area right here, like from Calais to Brussels to Cologne to Dusseldorf, like a lot of this area right here used to be Low Franconian. So obviously back in the days you didn't have really the thing of like German, French, Dutch, Belgian, and ethnicity didn't really mean much, but the languages spoken like in Cologne, even nowadays, like people that come from Cologne are a lot more interchangeably like legible with people that are from this area here, Limburg, in the Netherlands. Like there's a lot more understanding, right, between these two groups. But back in the days, they used to speak very similar languages, like very, very much Low Franconia language, Low German, I think it's supposed to be. And a lot of this area here got kind of Germanized, right? A lot of this area became like, started to speak High German, didn't speak Low Franconian anymore, got Germanized, essentially, really Germanized instead of just Low Franconian Germanized. And a lot of this area right here used to be Westphalian, like this area right here. And the Westphalian language has died out, not completely. There's still pockets of it, and there's a band I know of, but I forgot the name of, that is trying to have a little bit of a comeback of the Westphalian language. Or I think it's Platt German. I think maybe it's what it's called. I'm not a linguist. Don't quote me on that. It's very interesting. Like all these back in the days, you had all these like little groups, little pockets of groups that had their own unique accents, their own dialects. Like people in the Netherlands be able to understand these areas of these pockets of Germans. And that all has died out ultimately for a bigger language. I mean, I think the more interesting place to look at this really is France. Because if you look at France, the French that is speaking nowadays is really just like from the center of Paris. Everywhere else spoke maybe languages that are similar to French as we know it today, but not exactly the same. And the French, especially the Occitanians, the Bretons, they really suppressed those local languages in favor of a French system, right? The love of the French nation state, the nation as a state, or the state as a nation, patriotism, blah, 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 right? They really wanted to have one unified language, and French ended up being the languages adopted everywhere. Kind of the same for Italy as well, although I don't think it was that extreme as it was in France. I don't know. Just interesting to think about from time to time. Okay. We are nearing our cruising altitude. Gonna be our top of climb right here. And then we have roughly 20 more minutes of this flight. Probably another 35 minutes realistically. And then we will land in Nuremberg, where the Nuremberg trials were held. I guess that is one fun fact I have on Nuremberg. Let me drink some water, because my throat is very much dry. Okay, drink some water. Talking really does like stress your vocal cords, especially when you're not used to talking this much, like I am. Believe it or not, I am not known to be a yapper. Which I would not believe if I heard that, but I very much am not someone that talks too much. So streaming has really been stressing my vocal cords, which I'm not gonna complain about. I'm having fun with it, but kind of a truth. Düsseldorf, Münster, Osnabrück, Hamburg, Lübeck. Trying to figure out something to say. Frankfurt, Mannheim, Luxembourg. Fun fact, right? Okay, I found something. How are my studies going? Very well. I'm gonna answer this after the fun fact I was about to say. Thank you for asking. But essentially, the Luxembourg and the Netherlands had a personal union in the 1800s. Also very interesting, this part of the Netherlands, like Limburg, was its own duchy, but it eventually got annexed back by the Netherlands and had also a personal union with it. But Limburg and Luxembourg had a personal union with the Netherlands. So Limburg was eventually annexed into the Netherlands. Nothing they really could do about that. It was kind of de facto run by the Netherlands anyway, but the Germans wanted to have this part of the Netherlands remain in their own customs union. And so the duchy was created. Very oversimplified way to say that. Again, I'm a political scientist. I'm not a historian. But Luxembourg was in a personal union with the Netherlands, and there was a little bit of a silly thing that happened. So Willem III died, the third king, and he didn't really leave male heirs, at least as far as I understand, or maybe the eldest was a woman. So the person that became the monarch of the Netherlands was Wilhelmina, a woman. She became the queen, and I think the Netherlands also has like the longest streak of queens ruling their country, as far as I know that, but I might be wrong. At least continuous a streak. But Luxembourg did not allow queens to rule over their country. And so when Wilhelmina became queen, the Luxembourgians were like, okay, we kind of want independence anyway. And now might be a convenient time to just say, well, we actually are going to break the personal union and we're going to declare that a cousin of Wilhelmina is going to be our king. Again, very oversimplified. That's what I remember at least. And so that's kind of how they separated from the Netherlands, was through the birth or the coronation of a female queen. Fun facts, I guess. How are my studies? Okay, how are my studies? Very good. I kind of feel like I'm going insane, especially if you're on YouTube. You think I'm going insane. There's people on Twitch chatting. So if you're on YouTube, I'm not just talking to myself. I promise you. But my studies are going very well. So I actually never knew that I was going to go study, like really. It came kind of a surprise that I could go study in general. And so when I chose political science, I thought like, okay, this is cool. I'm very interested in the field anyway. I'm going to be passionate about it, but I'm probably not going to be very good at it because I was, in general, not a very good student. So I take my courses, right, my first course, and I get a very high grade for my first course. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it turns out that university students are just not very smart in general. And it's very easy to get a better grade or a very good grade at university if you actually give the slightest hint of a fuck. At least that is my experience from my university, and obviously that's political science. That's different than engineering, for example. But it's very easy to get good grades if you just give the smallest iota of a fuck of what you're about what you're studying. Like, I just cannot really compare. I get that people have issues and it's difficult for them to study and all of that, and I can respect that. But I cannot understand how a majority of people don't get a really good grade. Because it seems like if you're interested in the subject of politics, you follow it somewhat frequently, and you at least read the materials that are given to you instead of just copy pasting it in ChatGPT. Like, it's very easy. It's very doable. I don't know. Okay. We are roughly, I would say, 5 minutes from top of descent. So in 5 minutes we're gonna start our descent to Nuremberg. Or 7 to 10 minutes, I would say. We are currently flying over Gießen. Nice old Gießen. I don't have anything to say about this place. I'm actually... maybe I should have prepared something to say in between, like, the parts where there's nothing going on. I don't know. I'm very stupid. How is it going with you guys? Why not? Like, I have the choice between now just being quiet or hearing what the other people have to say, because I think it might be a good idea. I don't know. I like Pepsi. How are you doing? Right? Talk about me so often. Why don't we talk about you? How about feet? You know what? How about feet? I don't get feet fetish. Like, not at all. I'm not gonna shame anyone for it, but I just don't personally get it. Beat this individual to death. Do they sell Dr. Pepper where you are at, Fishy? Like, they sell it here, but it's more of an export product, right? It has a very heavy tax on it. Because it has to come from outside. At least the places that I went. Maybe I haven't really looked really deep into it. I need to check. Next time I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna check if they have Dr. Pepper there. Cofola is better than both. What is a Cofola? Let me Google this. What is a Cofola? Cofola. It's a Coca-Cola from the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Aha. During the 1960s and 1970s, Cofola became exceedingly popular in communist Czechoslovakia, successfully competing with Western cola drinks like Coca-Cola or Pepsi, which were generally available after 1968. Pepsi in 1974 were expensive and considered as high society products. Even today, Coca-Cola is a popular option in restaurants as it can be draught, poured from kegs right into a glass. I have had Coca-Cola. I have had Coca-Cola before. I remember this. I remember tasting it and thinking like, this is not Coke. Now I remember it. That's cool. It was good. It was a little bit different than Coke. Like, it has a different taste. Like, it's more... I felt less like I was about to get diabetes when I drank it. I mean, Dr. Pepper is somewhat rarer than Coca-Cola and Pepsi, but it's still possible to find. Yeah, it's the same here in the Netherlands. It is kind of the same. Like, it's not impossible to find it, but it is, it's in a corner of the store. Essentially. Okay, soon I will be able to declare ready for descent. So... we'll be able to do that. Oh, I got a notification. KLM 271, expect approach Doda 1 Victor, runway 28. Okay, so did I actually have Doda? I do have Dodas. Okay, so I was right already. Why am I not getting any audio from this? Huh, curious. Oh, whatever. You found them to cost a little bit cheaper than Coke? Dr. Pepper? Really? Damn. How the mighty have fallen. Whenever I buy, actually, okay, I found that the store brand, generic store brand Coke is actually quite good. So whenever I buy Coke, I tend to buy the generic store brand stuff. Because it's still like $1 for a liter and a half. And that's a good deal. It's a goddamn good deal. You want to like Dr. Pepper, but you can't. It's the type of stuff that Americans drink to like clog their veins and get diabetes. Like that's don't get into Dr. Pepper. Do if you want it, but like don't get too much into it. KLM 271 ready for descent.
KLM 271, Dodas 1 Victor, runway 28, descend to flight level 220.
Doda 1 Victor, expect runway 28, descent to flight level 220, KLM 271. Okay, 220. Let's go to 220. Oop. Okay. Should start descending anytime now. Very most, the only other thing I drink aside from water and juice is Monster. Coffee as well. How often do you drink Monster?
Air Anchor 376 Heavy, contact Munich Radar 1.
I hope you don't drink it too much. People genuinely drink like cans and cans of Monster. Like, there was one period where I had final exams and I drank like 5 Red Bulls a day. Like the 330 milliliter versions of it. And I'm pretty sure I could taste colors. But it did keep me awake to study. And I really needed it. Yellow is quite tasty, like as a color, not the Red Bull can. It was a time when I worked that I drank a Monster almost every day. Yeah, that's just not healthy. I used to do that as well for a while. Like for a month, I used to do that as well. Like every morning, I started with a can of Monster, and I was just like, that is not good. Caffeine is a drug. Yeah. Oh, when I used to see my coworkers just drinking coffee all day long, I was like, holy shit, you guys are addicted to this stuff. Damn. 2-3 in a week, if not less, it's good. Don't drink more than that, fishy. You're young, you can abuse your body, don't do it too much. Like, you want to get to your 30s, and I'm saying this as someone that is not 30. But you want to get to your 30s and not die, and that's my aim. That's my goal right now. I'm not even halfway through yet, but that's at least my goal for now. I'm still at an age where I'm closer to 20 than 30, and the second that changes, I'm gonna get severely depressed. I can tell you that much right now. Again, if you're on YouTube, hello, welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, I am talking to people on Twitch, so do not think that I am insane, please. That would be very nice. There was a time your kidneys were screaming for their lives. I think he's young enough that it doesn't matter yet, but yes, for sure. Just like President Macron says. At some point it would have gone really badly, really fast. Not insane, bro. We literally are just a figment of your imagination. You're playing by yourself. Entertaining. I had a friend who was much worse. Yeah, I know people that literally drink like 3 Monster cans a day, and I also question how they get the money to do that. But I know people like that, just complete insanity. Or people that are just wholly addicted to coffee, like actually so addicted to coffee they cannot stop drinking it. Like they need it every hour or so, and I'm like, you probably don't want coffee every hour. That is not good for you. I had a French. Glad you recovered. I might go study in France, my dude. Like I don't know that yet. I'm not out of the woodworks yet. I will be soon, but not yet. The only thing that he drank during school was Monster. Dude, his fucking kidneys. Even if you're that young, your kidneys must be just slush at that point. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is horrifying to think about. Yeah. He drinks 5 cans a day? Well, at least he's hydrated, I guess. Like, at least he's hydrated, right? Like, that's something. Surely that counts. Let's start paying attention to the nice lady doing instructions. my mind, the monster guy looks like the Luxmaxer who needs a CPAP machine because he can't breathe at 21. Oh, I feel really bad for all those guys, honestly. Like, I know that they're probably horrible people and all of that, but like, I do feel bad for them. Somewhat. Like, at that young age, and I include myself in that young age, but at that young age, like, it's a lot of pressure, you know? I feel bad for people that feel like they need to compensate or to do, you know, do so much just to fit in. It's just not ideal. Like, especially I'm very scared of all the manosphere stuff that young people subject themselves to and watch and all of that.
271, descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1026.
Descend to 5,000, QNH 1026, KLM 271. Like, just imagine the future where all of these people that are Luxmaxers and like Manosphere followers and all of that become adults and they start to decide over things, and it's like the whole economy is actually going to be a concept that we have to care about. Hey, waiting. How you doing?
With Air 152, long and radar, I have a traffic management reroute for you. Advise ready to copy.
Oh, where are we going now?
Ready to copy with Air 152.
Let's go down to 5,000.
Expect Rotec 3 Echo with the Rotec transition, runway 21. Expect Rotec 3 Echo with the Rotec transition, runway 21 with Air 152.
Smash yourself with a hammer to look better?
Rotec 3 Echo with the Rotec transition, runway 21.
Yeah, right, like that's just insane.
Rotec 3 Echo with the Rotec transition, runway 21, ready for descent with Air 152.
These motherfuckers are not making it past 30. Oh, they're still gonna be able to vote at least twice.
Descend to 7,000 feet with Air 152. Helvetic 115 Bravo, descend to flight level 240.
Descend to flight level
Hey, these motherfuckers will still decide over shit. At least a little bit. Here's some fun lore about me. When I was a kid, I was hitting my cheek with a hammer lightly to get rid of moving tooth because I was scared of dentists. But that's understandable. Hating dentists is like a core, you know, thing.
Helvetic 115 Bravo, descend to flight level 069.
Oh yeah. Waiting. I have not seen you in a long ass time, dude. I hope you're good.
Sun Express 6 Hotel Tango, contact Munich radar 120.65.
It fucking worked? No way. Nah, I don't believe that. I just do not believe that. There's no way you hit yourself with a hammer and it works and it fixes everything.
Expect Dota's 1 Victor, runway 28 Delta Echo Hotel Lima Yankee.
Yankee.
Delta Echo Hotel Lima Yankee QNH 1026, expect the ILS Zulu runway 28 with the DN439er transition.
QNH 1026, expect the
You were wondering who this
ILS
parody
Zulu
person
runway
was?
28 with the
Yeah, it's still me.
DN439er transition. Delta Echo Hotel
Maybe unfortunately.
Lima Yankee.
Dentists will torture you, that is very true. They will bring up the most diabolical, like, instruments of torture and then say like, ah, don't worry. Nah, don't worry about it. It might be a little bit too high for this approach. Might have to go around real quick. That's gonna be fine. Very cloudy weather. Wish I could see a little bit more of the surrounding area. I think Nuremberg is a quite nice place to look at. Capital of Franconia, I believe at least. I think so. Maybe it's actually Würzburg. Maybe. I don't remember exactly. I'm not very good with geography.
Runway 24, Luxair 84 Kilo Romeo.
Okay, we're descending to 5,000. I hope that I get to where I need to be before it really matters, but I need to be at 5,000 at around here. So it's gonna be good enough. Expect ILS Zulu 28 with Delta November 439er transition. QNH is 1026 KLM 271. Very confused. I hate the needles that make your mouth go numb. I hate when my tongue is numb. I thought it was the most annoying fucking thing. Like when I had COVID, the not being able to taste anything and just having everything be numb was so fucking annoying. That won't give me laughing gas. I would love laughing gas. I've never had it.
Eurowing 6 Charlie Papa, long and radar identified.
Oop. Let's turn on the landing lights.
Mike Whiskey, radar vectors ILS runway 14. Report ready for descent.
Radar vectors ILS runway 14, ready for descent. Swiss 2 Mike Whiskey.
Swiss 2 Mike Whiskey, Zurich landing runway 14B.
Zurich landing runway 14, Swiss 2 Mike Whiskey.
Lufthansa 940, contact Munich radar 120.65. Contact Munich radar 120.65, Lufthansa 940, bye bye. Swiss 2 Mike Whiskey, descend to flight level 130.
Descend to flight level 130, Swiss 2 Mike Whiskey.
Lufthansa 322, contact Munich radar 120.65.
Center on 120.65, Lufthansa 322, bye bye.
Ryanair 89 Mike Kilo, contact Bremen radar 125.8.
Center on 125.8, Ryanair 89 Mike Kilo, bye bye.
Luxair 84 Kilo Romeo, Bitboot 3 Delta, runway 24, report ready for descent. Bitboot 3 Delta, runway 24, ready for descent. Luxair 84 Kilo Romeo. Luxair 84 Kilo Romeo, descend to 7,000 feet, QNH 1028. Descend to 7,000 feet, Luxair 84 Kilo Romeo. KLM 271, cleared direct DIN 439er, cross DIN 439er at or above 5,000 feet, cleared ILS Zulu runway 28.
Oh, I muted. Hello. Ah. Clear direct, Delta November 439er, maintain or stay above 5,000, cleared ILS Zulu 28. My microphone muted again. It's really weird. Why does it keep muting? Like, that's so annoying.
Delta Echo Hotel Lima Yankee, descend to 5,000 feet,
The
QNH
mute button is back. Yeah, it just doesn't like me.
Descend to 5,000 feet, QNH 1026. Delta Echo Hotel Lima Yankee.
Condor 3 Romeo Whiskey, long and radar, expect Odina for X-ray, runway 35 right.
Yeah, I do need a little bit more drag. I might already get out the landing gear.
KLM 271, contact Munich radar 120.65.
Contact Munich at 120.65 KLM 271. Good day.
Negative Munich radar on 120.65.
It's really sad. 120.65 KLM 271. Goodbye.
Negative Munich radar
I'm just gonna
on
fucking
120.65.
do the auto respond option here. Fuck it.
Contact Munich radar 120.65.
Let the AI handle it.
KLM 271.
Ryanair 2679, Munich radar, expect at gap 1 Lima, runway 2
Yeah, let's activate the approach mode.
Expect at gap 1 Lima.
And
runway
let's
2 for left,
go
Ryanair 2679.
manual. Okay. We'll keep this profile for a while.
Mike, Munich radar, expect radar vectors, ILS runway 26 right. Expect radar vectors, ILS runway 26 right, Berlin 6 uniform.
Okay, now we're manually flying this bitch.
Contour 1017.
So your microphone have a physical button to... Yeah, it has an arrow that you can touch on.
Contact long and radar 127.6, Sunturk 1017, have a good afternoon.
Like, it has a surface on top of the microphone that I can just say like, oh hey, mute me. It's quite convenient most of the time, but not right now. Okay, deactivate the auto throttle. Let's try and do this myself. Gonna fail
Ryanair
miserably.
2679, at gap 1 Lima, runway 2 for left. Report ready for descent.
At gap 1 Lima, runway 2 for left, ready for descent, Ryanair 2679.
Ryanair 2679, descend to flight level 120.
Okay.
Descend to flight level 120, Ryanair 2679.
KLM 271 established at the ILS. I don't think that's how you're supposed to say that, but I am saying it that way. Okay, so I can see the runway there in the background. Is there any reason why you stream? No, I just go with it, you know. Honestly, like today I wanted to fly to Sint Maarten in the Caribbean, and I decided, you know what, I kind of want to stream this. I'm gonna do a shorter flight. I'm gonna fly to Nuremberg instead. I don't know, it's just fun. I enjoy it.
Munich radar KLM 271.
Maybe it's shorts. Nah, it's a good option.
Berlin 6 uniform Mike, contact long and approach 126.905. Contact long and approach
It's definitely an option.
126.905, Berlin 6 uniform Mike.
I think it's because the microphone is a little bit, the cable is a little bit wobbling, so it does its thing.
Transavia 6820, contact long and radar 127.6.
Oh, I'm way too fast.
Center on 127.6, Transavia
Let me
6820.
get a little bit less fast. I think you can already get the landing gear out. Why not? Up a little bit with the drag. Contact Nuremberg Tower at 118.305 KLM 271. KLM 271 at flight level 040 established ILS runway 28.
KLM 271, Nuremberg Tower, wind 320 at 7, runway 28, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 28 KLM 271. Okay, we're doing really well here. We're getting there. I don't know if you guys can see the runway on the stream, but we're almost there. And then you can see the city of Nuremberg on the left-hand side of the screen. Very beautiful place. More flaps. Try to reduce our speed. I'm not using auto throttle, so I'm trying to get the speed myself, which I'm not very used to, but figured now is a good time to do it in front of everyone, right? So people can make fun of me. A little bit high, but that's fine. Can adjust a little bit.
All aircraft be advised, information India now current, QNH 1026.
1026, QNH is good.
$1,000.
1000. A slow bit of flaps. Not really like having the maximum of the flaps all the time, but you know, might as well. And someone followed me. I cannot see that right now, but I appreciate the follow. I'll check that in a little bit. Okay, we're reaching our minima soon, so I have to decide whether I continue or not, but I'm happy to continue as is. Very much happy to do so. A bit off the center line actually.
500.
Yeah, let's arm the speed brake. Forgot to do that, I guess. Okay. Should be a nice little landing. Set auto brake. Just forgot to do that.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
A little bit of floaty float.
10.
And let's put a little bit of reverse thrust. A little bit off center line, but I'm happy with that. That's good enough. And let's take the next exit.
KLM 271, exit next available taxiway.
Exit next available taxiway, KLM 271. Okay. Alright, we can turn off the landing lights, turn on the taxi lights. Don't really need this actually. And let's
KLM
restart the
271,
APU.
Contact ground 121.76.
Contact ground at 121.76 KLM 271.
Negative ground on 121.76.
I feel like that's what I said. Fuck you. Thank you very much, Bayan, for following me.
Ground
I'll just let the
121.76
AI handle that.
271. Bye bye.
KLM 271 requesting taxi to assigned gate. Should be gate 10.
KLM 271, gate 10 taxi via Delta Foxtrot Mike 2.
Delta Foxtrot Mike 2. KLM 271 taxi to gate 10 via Delta Foxtrot Mike 2. Okay, let's go. So Delta. Doesn't look like anyone's coming here. Gate 10. Gate 10. I'm not very familiar with Nuremberg, so I need to pay a little bit of attention. So that is, and I'm gonna stop because there's no one behind me. Okay, Mike 2, so I just keep going here. I am very bad at taxiing. Terrible even. Yeah, okay, so continue to Foxtrot. Through Foxtrot here, this is Foxtrot. You can see that there. And then Mike 2 should be the next exit, and we go to gate 10. Let me also activate gate 10 on GSX. So I have the services already good. Okay. Let's get it going. Oh, auto brake needs to be set off as well. Okay. Already turn off the second engine soon. I have a very sensitive not rudder pedal. I have a very sensitive I forgot what this is called, but it's essentially the thing that steers the wheel. So it's very annoying to taxi with it. I believe that's taxi, yeah, that's gate 10. So follow M2 here. Let's turn off engine 2. Actually, engine 1 would have been better. Whatever. We can turn off one of the engines. Let's try to taxi nicely. Unlike what I usually do, which is taxi very badly. Okay. Let's see what the marshaller has to tell me. I have 2 of them. There you go. 2 people telling me I'm wrong. Ah, almost perfect. I cut off engine, parking brake on. Using the... Oh, I forgot to turn off the taxi light. Poor people. They're gonna be blinded. APU is on. Engine cutoff switch is off. Okay. Well, that was quite a nice flight. I had fun with it. Despite my many limitations. Okay. Request the boarding and let's shut off this aircraft.
The boarding requested.
Let's also have these 2 go back to off. They don't want the engines to start randomly. Okay. Well, that was the plane. That was the flight, actually, not the plane. The plane also, but... Was it a nice landing? I can quickly check. Let's see. I have a software that I can see my landing at.
Passengers deboarding starting.
Doesn't seem to be working too well. Okay, let's see. It was quite a rough landing, actually. RIP. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, but not much you can do about it. Okay, let's turn off the battery. And... standby power. Off. And that's the plane shut down. Okay. get the hell out of here. Oh. Well, I guess I won't be going anywhere. I'm gonna be jumping off. Anyway, that was quite the fun flight. I quite enjoyed it, I must say. Thank you everyone that was here telling me about your monster addictions. And not of the cartoon type of monsters, but more of the drink type of monsters. Is there anything interesting I can show you about Nuremberg? I don't know much about Nuremberg actually. I know there's a painting of this dude here that has his airport named after him. Turkish Airlines has a massive hub here. It doesn't really get shown in this aircraft or airport model that I have, but there's a huge advertisement for like Turkish Airlines right here. It's a very big hub for them. That's all about what I can offer, about all I can offer. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, well, thank you very much for being here. Again, thank you for telling me your monster addiction, and I will see you guys at some other point. When? Who the fuck knows? You know, who the fuck knows? Probably never. I'll never see you guys again. Fuck off. Alright. See ya. We're in a post-credit scene right now, yes. Well, I could have ended like this as well, but I felt like this would be better, right? I feel like that's a little bit more entertaining.
Do you want to deboard crew? Crew to boarding starting. Your crew has deboarded.